All right, guys, another bikes you should know about video from ClevelandMoto, and this one deserves just a very quiet amount of attention. This bike doesn't want to go kicking the door in. This bike doesn't want to be like, check us out, we're different. This bike is what happens when Honda Motor Company very clandestinely decides to follow up a complete loser of a motorcycle. As much as we love the Honda PC800, because it had the integrated storage, it had the V-twin engine, it was a very light and easy to ride bike. The marketing department did not do a good job with the PC800, and it didn't sell particularly well. So what do you do when you take the PC800 away? What fills that touring, that light touring slot left behind by the PC800? Well, you've got to have something. 1998, Honda said the replacement for the PC800 is sitting right here in front of you. In America, it's called the NTV700V. I know that's a lot of V's, but stick with me. We're going to explain each and every one of them. In Europe, the bike is called the Deauville. That's an island, a resort, actually, in France, Deauville. And the Europeans, the British in particular, love calling this bike the Deauville. And that's kind of a shame because it's a really good bike and it does a lot of things really, really well. And maybe that's part of that Honda thing is if you do something really well and you kind of appear to be doing it effortlessly, then it might appear to be boring for some people. And this bike actually deserves a little more credit than that, because when you read the reviews and somebody says, well, so you went out on the Deauville, how did you like it? Well, I fell asleep halfway through. Well, this is a really good bike. It's very practical. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the obvious thing is this is a light touring bike or a light sport touring bike. Emphasis on the light touring. We're not going to win any super races with this thing, although it is a V-twin and it does have 65 horsepower. It does have a very pleasing 50 foot-pounds of torque, which is really good considering that it's not a particularly heavy bike. This bike is going to come to you with the best brakes I have experienced. My shortcoming of the PC800 was those damn brakes. I wish the brakes were better. The bike wasn't particularly light. The brakes could have been better. This bike has got 3 massive calipers. The front calipers are 6 piston calipers per side. That's nothing short of incredible. And it has Honda's fantastic ABS system, a combined ABS system, which is going to meter out the correct amount of braking energy to you when you have that panic stop moment. The ABS is not really invasive. It's not going to come on too strong. I really do love the brakes on this bike. They are fantastic. 65 horsepower is kind of rewarding, and this is a V-twin shaft drive. So it does have a good grunt when you crack the throttle. It does kind of dig in a little bit and go. It's not that bad of a bike, and I know the British love to tease it. What they use the bike for primarily in Britain is they use it as a dispatch rider's bike. It's used to deliver things from one office building to another office building in British weather. In British weather, I don't need to tell you, it's not great. So this bike is an all-weather bike. It's going to keep the rider away from terrible weather. And what's cool is they have these built-in impact areas on the motorcycle. So if the bike were to tip over, the bike were to fall over, you're not going to damage a really expensive piece of plastic. You're going to hit a part of the bike that was designed to be hit, and that's awesomely cool. We have storage areas up here in the front for all you concealed carry types. There's a place right here with a lock on it, so you can, hide the stuffy old pistola in there. For the people that like to carry stuff with you, take stuff to work, these areas in the back, these panniers, are built into the bike. They're not an accessory, they're not an option. This is the standard pannier kit that came for the American bike, and you're going to get over 45 liters of storage just the way the bike comes from the factory. So you don't need to get a top case. You can if you want. You don't need to. If you need more storage and you want to actually do the trick where you put a helmet in each side of the cases, get on the old computer, go into eBay, and look up British or European side case covers for the NT700V Deauville, and that's going to be a much bigger cover. It's going to give you a lot more room, and you'll have no problem putting a helmet on each side. But what's cool about this, where they didn't do it in the PC800 but they did it in this bike, is they made a pass-through area in the back, and that comes in handy when you're carrying some odd-shaped items. Like, you're going to have a fun night, you got to have a bottle of wine, it slides right in. Hell, if you had a bottle of Galliano, you'd probably be in good shape. But I don't know what kind of evening you're having. You might run into some angry savages on the way to work. Nice to know this bike's got you covered. I don't know, you might want to step up your game, that concealed carry thing. We're ready with a Red Ryder BB gun, and it fits right here in the back of the bike. So the storage on this thing is really cool. I'm going to go ahead and open up the other side here so you can see the storage area on both sides with the pass-through. So you can slide items. You know, you like Subway footlongs? Hell, splurge, get 2 of them. Line them up in a row, shoot them right through the middle. Yeah, I used to tease all the time. There's enough room in that passage you could shoot a cat through there. That's mean to animals, but whatever, I get complaints. So the bike is very practical. It's really easy to use on a day-by-day basis. I don't hate it. I really kind of enjoy riding it. You like an adjustable windshield? Who doesn't like an adjustable windshield? Let me show you the violence that you need. Just like that. It goes from being a tall windshield to a sporty windshield simply by pushing down on it. No electric motors, no switches, no servos, nothing to wear out, and honestly, the size of the windshield is perfectly fine. You don't need to spend money on a bigger windshield for this bike. I love the adjustable levers that are set up to fit your hands. I think that's really smart. I'm glad to see that it's on this bike. A very basic motorcycle that comes from the factory with everything that you need on the bike to make it really happy. Not a bad bike to buy, especially when you can get a bike like this, super low miles, 6,600 miles on it, for $5,200. That's what we're selling it for. Where are you going to find the bike? You're going to go to our website, www.clevelandmoto.com. If you have had any experiences with the old Dullville here, once again, give us a little comment. Reach to the bottom, let us know about it. We'd like to know more so that when we produce videos, we can answer the questions that you're asking about the bikes like this. Again, we are going to be giving you some interesting bikes. That's the idea. We're not going to give you the stuff that's at your Honda dealer right now. We're not going to give you the stuff that's at your Harley dealer right now. This is more about bikes on a budget. $5,200 gets you a hell of a lot of motorcycle right here. It's fuel injected. Press the button, go ride. It's liquid cooled. This is a lot of motorcycle for not a particularly lot of money. So remember, comments in the bottom. Call us at 216-795-5580. And remember to please ride fast and take chances.